Disney announces The Marvels for Blu-ray and 4K. The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes gets a 4K and Blu-ray release date. The UK cancels the 4K version of The Abyss, but why? Screen Factory and Shout Studios unveil their March slate with some very interesting picks. Mean Girls is set to get a 20th anniversary 4K later this year. And it might be about 4 years too late, but Contagion gets a 4K announcement from Warner Brothers later this year. All this and more in the next Physical Media Report. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here for the Physical Media Report, episode 194. That is right, guys, your weekly dose of physical media goodness, where we talk about everything new and exciting in the world of 4Ks and Blu-ray. And man, do we got some stuff to talk about this week. I was a little worried the past couple of weeks. I was like, man, nothing's getting announced, nothing's happening. But this past week, we actually got some stuff to talk about, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys here today. But before we get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. So if you like that kind of thing, hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to comment down below of everything that we discussed today. What are you the most excited about? What are you the most amped up for? And what gets your juices flowing the most? Let me know in that comment section below, and then turn on bell notifications for all future videos. So let's roll right into it. We've got rumors, we've got news and announcements, we've got deals, we've got what is new this week, guys. But we are going to start with something that is so fetch, it's not even funny, and that is Mean Girls coming to 4K from Paramount at some point later this year. So we do not have an official release date for Mean Girls on 4K, but there is currently a pre-order on Amazon in France. So that's how you kind of know that it's coming. That's the indication that it's coming to the States at some point. So I'm sure that we'll get the official announcement of Mean Girls on 4K, but until we do in the States get that official announcement, I am going to lump this in the rumor category. And I also saw where there was a steelbook option as well. Now, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be the same, because this is the pattern for Paramount. I'm pretty sure it's going to probably be that burn book steelbook that came out a couple of years ago, the Blu-ray steelbook. It'll probably be the exact same steelbook, just a 4K of that. I'm okay with that because I never bought that steelbook, so I'll probably just get that steelbook and have it in my collection. Now, Mean Girls on 4K, is it something that I'm super excited to watch on 4K? Probably not. I'd probably be just good with my Blu-ray, but I probably will get that 4K just to check out the picture quality, and anything can benefit from a 4K upgrade. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that just are super fans of this movie that want to see it on 4K. So sure, I'm down for Mean Girls on 4K. Let me know if you are in that comment section below. Okay, let's get into the actual news and announcements. This just broke like right before I came in here to film the Physical Media Report. We still don't have all the information, so if it comes out later, I'm sorry. I filmed this at like 11:30 in the morning, so I didn't know what was going on yet. But The Marvels has been announced from Disney to come out on February the 13th. This is going to get a 4K, it's going to get a Blu-ray, I imagine a DVD as well, and a 4K steelbook, but we do not know the destination of that 4K steelbook. The only thing that we really know is that it's not going to be Best Buy that's carrying that steelbook. But will it be an Amazon exclusive steelbook? Will it be a Walmart exclusive steelbook? I only say that, I want to say it'll probably be a Walmart steelbook, but we haven't gotten the official like Disney Walmart steelbook yet. We've gotten one from Warner Brothers, we've gotten one from Universal, but we haven't really gotten a Disney steelbook exclusive to Walmart. They've done exclusive editions to Walmart, but not a steelbook. So it's still yet to be seen like where Disney's steelbooks are going to land. So that's why I'm kind of curious about The Marvels. The movie itself, I don't really care about ever watching, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm very curious about this release because it's going to tell us where, it's going to indicate to us where Disney is going to plant their steelbooks going forward into 2024. Is it going to be Walmart? I mean, a lot of, the studios are going to Walmart, so I imagine it probably will be Walmart, but there's always a possibility they could do what, Sony's doing. They could do what Paramount's doing and put them on Amazon and Walmart at the same time, and other sites, Diabolic and all that. I'll just make it accessible to everybody, because they just did that with the shows, with The Mandalorian, with Loki, with WandaVision. All those TV shows are available on Amazon as well. in steelbook form. That's the only way you can get them. So I think it's very possible it could be in Amazon. It could be available on Amazon in steelbook form. I don't think it'll be exclusive to Amazon though. I think it'll just be kind of available everywhere. Walmart, Amazon, wherever movies are sold. Not Best Buy, but you know, the main spots. Target maybe could get them as well. But yeah, I think that's interesting. But yeah, the Marvels on 4K and Blu-ray, they definitely need to recoup some of that loss. The theaters, that movie lost a lot of money. I don't think it's available to pre-order right now. We just got the official announcement from Disney this morning, but this thing is going to have plenty of new special features, which is definitely cool, and a director commentary with Nia DaCosta. So I think that that's cool. I think that Disney, you know, look, you can say what you want about their release strategy, what they're putting out there, what they're not putting out there. But they usually deliver on special features. I believe Guardians had a lot of special features and commentaries as well, or maybe just one commentary. But I think that's cool. They're at least putting a lot into the new special features. You know, if anything, at least they're doing that. So let me know what you think about the Marvels coming to 4K Blu-ray, 4K Steelbook. Where do you think the Steelbook will end up? Let me know in the comment section below. We also have the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, coming out in 4K and Blu-ray from Lionsgate on February the 13th. So both of these movies, Marvels and Hunger Games, both coming out February the 13th. So yeah, that's cool. We already got a Steelbook announcement for this. It's a Walmart exclusive Steelbook of the Hunger Games, and I believe there's like some kind of special set as well. I talked about both of those a few weeks ago on the Physical Media Report, but we have the official announcement, so I'm assuming all those exclusives will be due out on February the 13th. I'm not a huge Hunger Games fan. I'll probably watch this at some point when I catch up on the series, but I still haven't seen 2 movies in the main line of the Hunger Games franchise. So, but I did feel like I heard some good things about this. There's some nice artwork on here, some new special features it looks like from looking at the back. I think maybe 2 to 3 hours of new special features on here. So definitely cool. Lionsgate usually delivers on the special features as well. So yeah, let me know what you think about the new Hunger Games prequel in the comments section below. I know the actress in the movie isn't the most popular. What's her name? Rachel Zegler, or something like that. Okay, let's talk about The Abyss, the 4K of The Abyss. And I put this on the thumbnail. The Abyss 4K is canceled. It's not canceled in the US. So if you're in the US, don't worry. This is a UK issue. So The Abyss 4K was canceled in the UK. And the reasoning is a very interesting one, at least to me. So it was canceled in the UK because there's a scene in the movie. Look, I haven't seen the movie yet. This will be a first time watch for me and I can't wait. There's a scene in the movie apparently where they submerge a rat in water. And people in the UK were not happy about that. They said that's animal cruelty, and we want that scene removed before the 4K is released over here. I guess, you know, we've never had this problem before because The Abyss has never been released anywhere on Blu-ray. Was it released in DVD in the UK back in the day? Let me know in the comment section below if you're over in the UK. So they didn't want this released in 4K in the UK because there's a scene of animal cruelty. And nothing happened to the rat in real life, but I think they gave the rat some kind of like breathable liquid from what I was reading. This is a very interesting, fascinating thing to me. They gave the rat some breathable liquid and then submerged him in the water so he would survive. But their whole thing, I think, in the UK is you didn't know 100% that the rat was going to survive. And that was very scary for the rat to be submerged in water. But yeah, they're upset over that scene. They wanted it removed. Disney was really willing to remove that scene because of course they were. Why wouldn't Disney be willing to remove that scene? They don't care about movies. They don't care about legacy. They don't care about their history. They don't care about none of that crap. Yeah, we'll remove it. We'll cut up whatever you want. Just put it out there. It's fine. But Lightstorm fortunately stepped in and said, no, we're not releasing that without that scene. That's a part of the film. That's a part of James Cameron's film. And they refused to move it. So because of that, The Abyss was canceled in the UK, which definitely sucks for people in the UK. You're going to have to import it if you live in the UK. And yeah, that definitely sucks for sure. I just wanted to get that news out there for my subscribers in the UK to kind of explain what's going on and then let people know in the States, like, hey, this is what people in the UK have to deal with all the time. We're always... I get these comments all the time when we start complaining about something over here in the US and the UK and Australia is like, hold my beer. Look at all the problems we have to deal with in our countries. You all are complaining over there. Canada as well chimes in. So yeah, just issues all over the world with physical media. So we definitely need to consider ourselves lucky in the States for not having The Abyss canceled on us. So we're still getting The Abyss physical form on March, I believe March the 6th. Is that the day for March? The pre-orders are still not up, which I think is kind of baffling because they said they would be up, I think, by like the 20th of November when they were announced, or December. I can't exactly remember when they were announced, but they were supposed to be up like a long time ago. So I don't know what's going on. I get the question all the time, when's the pre-orders going up? I don't know, but I will let you guys know as soon as those pre-orders go up. I'll probably make a video or something about it. But let's move on, guys, to the Vinegar Syndrome announcements. We got some more Vinegar Syndrome announcements. I talked about the initial January announcements last Monday on the Physical Media Report. Well, we got announcements all week, every single day coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, I think, except for Thursday. We just got a box set of Freeway and Freeway 2 that's supposed to house like both of them, but there's no movies inside. It's just like a box, which I kind of thought about getting because I do have both of those, but I'm like, nah, I kind of like them separate anyway. But let's get into the actual announcements because Vinegar Syndrome unveiled a new line and it's called cinematography. It's how I'm pronouncing it. Maybe it's pronounced differently. That's how I read it on the screen, but it's called cinematography. It's a new line that's supposed to focus on 60s, 70s, 80s, or maybe 70s, 80s, 90s, kind of like lost hidden gems in the US. So these are supposed to be American films. And the first one that they announced is one that has been sought after for a long time. I think this has been stuck on DVD or maybe VHS tape. So this is Little Darlings, and this is coming out on 4K from the cinematography line, and it's available to pre-order now. So I don't know much about this movie other than it's like a teen comedy set in a camp, and it's got Matt Dillon in it. It's centered around two young girls. So it sounded pretty good to me reading the synopsis, and then hearing everybody's reaction to it made me want to get it. So I definitely pre-ordered it. But yeah, that's really cool. That was a cool first announcement. And then the second announcement kind of blew my doors off a little bit because it was Red Rock West. And this was announced yesterday, but I just wanted to cover all the cinematography stuff in one go. But Red Rock West, say that 5 times fast, with Nicolas Cage and I think Dennis Hopper, was announced to come out a Blu-ray edition. This is not a 4K, but it does have a 4K restoration, a 4K scan. So I find this interesting because Umbrella just released Red Rock West, a Blu-ray edition of that in Australia. So now we're going to have 2 of those. And I actually have Red Rock West in my possession. I was going to watch it and do a review for you guys. Now I'm probably going to wait because I buckled and I ordered this one as well because it's got new special features in it. And it's just an awesome looking edition. Like these cinematography editions are just stunning looking. So I can't wait to own both Little Darlings and Red Rock West from this new line. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one and then I'm going to watch the Umbrella one and then kind of compare the two. So yeah, very, very cool announcements coming out of Vinegar Syndrome of this new line. I can't wait to see what they do next with it. Sex Mission was announced on Blu-ray as well from VSL. No idea anything about this movie, but it's another Vinegar Syndrome Labs release. Black Cat 1 and 2. These are, I think, like kung fu action films. This was announced as a part of the VSA line. And we also got Divinity announced as a part of the VSP line. So yeah, some cool announcements that came out last week. I was definitely the most excited about the cinematography releases, Little Darlings and Red Rock West, along with Southern Comfort. I mean, it was a really good week for Vinegar Syndrome, I think. Some really cool announcements that I think a lot of people are certainly excited about. Let's go ahead and get into the Shout Scream Factory March announcements, though, and we'll talk about some maybe not so cool announcements. But look, some of these I actually do want. I actually do want some of these, but I'd be lying if I said this isn't one of the most disappointing Scream Factory, Shout Factory months in quite some time. And they just did a whole month where they didn't even announce a 4K. There's a lot of what a lot of people would consider to be stinkers in this lineup. And I just can't for the life of me, just when I think about what Scream Factory, Shout Factory is doing right now, I'm like, what are you guys thinking? Like, do you all really just have nothing at this point? Like, what's going on? There's not even like one title to just like hook people in. At least to me, like there's some stuff I'm interested in, like I said, but I don't know what's going on here right now with Scream Factory, Shout Factory, and the fact that I talked about this before, but these aren't even showing up on the Scream Factory, Shout Factory website. They haven't announced it yet, but they're already available to pre-order on Amazon. So it's like, what is that? Like, Scream Factory, Shout Factory needs to get their stuff together and do their announcements like Arrow Video, like Vinegar Syndrome, like Criterion, like all these other labels that have their crap together, Sever, and make this an event. Maybe it's because this is all crap and they're embarrassed to put it out there. I don't know. But it's like, make this feel like an event. Make it feel like something when you're announcing stuff. Put it up on your website before Amazon and Bull Moose and everybody gets a hold of it. Like, everybody knows what Shout Factory, Scream Factory is releasing like 2 or 3 days before they release it. You know, it's just ridiculous. Like, nobody gets a hold of like what Vinegar Syndrome is releasing before they release it. Like, when they drop their announcements, it's a surprise every time. Arrow Video does their little teases and then they drop their announcements and it's a surprise. So I don't know what's going on with Scream Factory, Shout Factory. They need to get their crap together and figure this out. And yeah, well, let's get down to talking about these titles. Quigley Down Under, coming out on 4K on March the 12th. I've never really heard of this film. I feel like I've heard of this movie, but I've never seen this movie. So definitely not the most exciting announcement to me. But if you're a fan of this movie, I'm sure it's a fine film. And maybe some people are excited to watch this movie on 4K. Me personally, if you're going to do an Australian adventure film, which I'm assuming that's what this is, I'd rather see Crocodile Dundee on 4K. That's just me personally. But Quigley Down Under coming out on 4K March the 12th. We also have K-19, The Widowmaker, coming out on 4K on March the 19th. So Shout Factory is definitely leaning into their Shout Select line for sure. They did a lot of Shout Select stuff in December, and it looks like they're going to carry that on. So K-19, The Widowmaker, is coming out on 4K March the 19th. And also keep in mind, none of these are showing slipcovers. Some of them say collector's edition, some of them don't. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like I said, there hasn't been an official Shout Factory announcement yet. Some of these could be packages, could be bundles. I don't know because there's been no announcement yet. I'm assuming these are going to show up on their website sometime today. That's what I'm saying. They're just all messed up with how they announce stuff. It's just completely ridiculous. Like, we should know the packages and all the options before Amazon gets these pre-orders. It's just so weird. But K-19, The Widowmaker, I heard some good things about this movie. It's got Harrison Ford. I don't know if I'll get this right away, but maybe at some point I'll purchase this movie on 4K. I'm sure it's a fine film, but not the most exciting announcement coming out of Shout Factory today. We also got Carrie 2013 coming out on 4K on March 19th. Look, I'm okay with this because it would be cool to have Carrie the original and Carrie the remake in the same line with slipcovers. Hopefully this has a slipcover. I'm not seeing it on this shelf. Like, that would be cool to have, and I might purchase this at some point. I'm not going to rush to get it. The movie itself, I remember watching and thinking it was fine. I didn't think it was great. It's certainly not Brian De Palma's film. It's certainly not Brian De Palma's film, not at all. But I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, favorite horror movies of all time. But Carrie 2013, Chloe Grace Moretz, I remember her doing an okay job. It's been 10 years since I've seen the movie. But yeah, sure, why not? Put it out on 4K. It'll match the other one. That's fine. But again, not the most exciting. That comes out on March the 19th. We also have, look, this movie gets a lot of crap, and for good reason. It's not great. But I'm actually kind of excited to own this in my collection, just for nostalgic reasons. But The Shining remake from, I believe, 1996 or 1997 is coming out on Blu-ray. It's getting a Blu-ray release on March the 12th. This is the made-for-TV version directed by Mick Garris. So this is actually the one that I grew up with in a way, because I was really into Stephen King, like reading his books and all that stuff when I was 10 or 11. Like, I started reading his books like very young. I read It when I was like 11 years old. So I was reading Tommyknockers, The Shining, Thinner, all that stuff. I remember having novelizations of all those. I remember the Shining book that I had was the TV miniseries cover. So when I thought of The Shining when I was a kid, I thought of this movie. That's what I thought of as The Shining. I remember I watched it a handful of times and actually really enjoyed it when I was a kid. Now, looking at the runtime, this is like a 4.5 hour movie. It's very long. I think it was like spread out over 3 nights. I remember the premiere when it came on TV. I remember watching it all 3 nights. So I actually kind of do want this in the collection, but if you have only seen this once maybe and you didn't grow up with it, and you're like, that is not the Kubrick version, that is not the Jack Nicholson version, I get it, because I didn't grow up seeing the Jack Nicholson version. I didn't watch that one until I was probably 16 or 17, and it was because of the movie Twister that I even knew of that movie at all. So because it plays on the drive-in screen. So, but I'm excited to get this. I kind of am. Hopefully this has a slipcover. Hopefully there's some cool new features just talking about this movie, because it's a very interesting story, because Stephen King does not like Kubrick's version. So he wanted this movie remade more in the vision of his novel, and he brought in Mick Garris to direct it. That was in the documentary that I just talked about on my tier list the other day, but King on Screen. I watched this the other day. Very interesting documentary, and it kind of goes into that whole story of The Shining and how they got it remade, made for TV. But it's not a great movie, and it's nowhere near as good of a movie as the Kubrick version, but it's an interesting take, and it is more faithful to the novel. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to rewatching this one for sure. But let me know what you think of the Shining remake coming out on Blu-ray from Screen Factory in the comment section below. We also had the Child's Play remake, which came out in 2019. That is coming to 4K on March the 19th. And I don't mind this one either. I don't mind this one either because, again, it's going to match all my other Child's Play movies from the Screen Factory Shout Factory collection. Now, I wish Arrow would have got it as well and put it in this nice box set so we could have had the complete Child's Play collection, but that's not how it played out. So I like this movie. Again, it's just not one that I'm super excited to own on 4K, but I never bought it on Blu-ray, so I'm actually happy to have an excuse to own it in the collection officially, because again, I saw it in the theaters and I did like the movie, just didn't love it. We also got Over the Edge coming out on Blu-ray as well. So yeah, this is I imagine this has to be like a very divisive month. I'm sure there's some people that's really excited for some of this stuff, but I think the vast majority will be like pass on like every one of these titles. So it's just not the best. It's not the most exciting month for Screen Factory, Shout Factory for sure. But let me know what you think of all these announcements in the comment section below. Again, we could be getting like package bundle announcements from Screen Factory, Shout Factory because they're so slow in getting out information. That could come today, could come tomorrow. I don't know, but let me know what you think of these announcements in that comment section below. We also got Contagion coming out on 4K from Warner Brothers on February the 27th. This is a manufactured on-demand release. So I imagine they're going to make these as people order them or pre-order them. And there's also going to be a UK Steelbook as well. It's available to pre-order now on Amazon in the UK, which actually looks pretty cool. And if I'm going to get this on 4K, I'd probably want to get that Steelbook because since it's manufactured on demand, Contagion 4K is not going to have a slipcover on it. It's just going to have that 4K case. And some people don't care about this stuff. I get it, guys. You don't care about cardboard. It's good. But the actual cover on the 4K, standalone 4K, just doesn't look great to me. But are you excited for Contagion on 4K? To me, they should have capitalized on this in like 2020, 2021 at the height of the pandemic because that's when everybody was watching Contagion. I remember like the prices for Contagion on Blu-ray back in the day, back during that time, were like through the roof because they sold out. Like everybody bought this movie and watched it during the pandemic. That one and Outbreak as well, which is very interesting. Just it speaks to the mindset of people when there's a crisis in the world going on. But Contagion on 4K, guys, let me know if you're excited for that coming out on February the 27th in the comment section below. The Guyver is coming to 4K from Unearthed Films on May the 21st. I wouldn't know what the hell this movie was if it wasn't for a lot of my coworkers have been talking this movie up for like the past 3 or 4 years, asking me if I've ever seen The Guyver. And I knew it had an Arrow video release, but I don't really know anything else about the movie. So when this got announced on 4K, I went and told them, I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch The Guyver now because it's coming out on 4K. But Unearthed Films is definitely interesting. I wish that Arrow would have just got this. It would have been cool to have it in a nice box set. I haven't watched an Unearthed Films 4K release, but I don't believe I've heard the best things about their transfer. So my faith isn't fully in Unearthed Films to deliver a top tier 4K restoration with The Guyver. And from what I've heard about it, it deserves that top tier 4K treatment. We also have 2 very exciting 4K announcements coming out of Universal. We have Ticket to Ride with George Clooney and Julia Roberts coming out on 4K on February the 13th. And we also have Harriet coming out on 4K from Universal on February the 13th. And very exciting announcements. Okay, moving on. We also have When Evil Lurks coming out on Blu-ray from RLJE. This is coming out on March of 26th. This, I've heard from a lot of people, is one of the best horror movies of 2023. And this was a Shudder original. finally coming out on Blu-ray. So I am definitely going to purchase this probably day one and check it out because I've heard such great things about the movie and I cannot wait to watch it. We also have VHS 85 coming out on Blu-ray from RLJE. This comes out on February the 27th. So I'm a fan of this franchise. I've seen every movie in this franchise, so I'm definitely going to be getting this one on February the 27th. My only issue here is this appears to have a slipcover. And again, I'm going back to slipcovers again, but this kind of stuff bothers me, guys. It just does. VHS 94 came out from RLJE. Slipcover. VHS 99 came out from RLJE. No slipcover. VHS 85 comes out from RLJE with the slipcover. What is going on, RLJE, with your inconsistency with your slipcovers? Like, put it on them or don't put it on them. But all right, guys, that was the announcements. Let's go ahead and jump into the deals. We got several deals right now going on Amazon, some really good deals, and I will link all these deals down below in the description. So if you use those links down below, they're affiliate links. They do help support the channel, and I would definitely appreciate it. If any of these deals sound good to you, use those links. So let's get into it. We got The Mandalorian Season 1 on sale right now on 4K for $40.99. So that's definitely the best price I've seen for that one. For sure, I believe it came out at like $44.99 on Amazon. I think it was $50 at Best Buy. So $40.99 for the entire season of The Mandalorian on 4K is definitely a really good price. Bram Stoker's Dracula's on 4K for $9.99. We also have Kiss the Girls on 4K for $16.49. Really thinking about maybe possibly getting this one because I think that came out at $27 and I didn't get it. I held off because again, there was no slip. But $16.49, that's a very good price, and I do enjoy that movie. Oppenheimer on 4K is $24.96 right now. Currently, Across the Spider-Verse on Blu-ray for $9.99. We got The Pope's Exorcist on Blu-ray for $9.99. A lot of new movies, guys, brought down to $9.99. We have A Man Called Otto with Tom Hanks on Blu-ray for $9.99. We got Elizabeth on 4K for $16.49. We got Paramount Scares set, guys, down to $81.59. I do think that's worth it. I know this set got criticism, but that is 5 4Ks, one of which you can only get in this box set, and an exclusive issue of Fangoria magazine, and it's a really nice box set. So I think that $81.59 is totally worth it, but I get it if you want to wait till maybe it goes down to $60 or $70, because it probably might get there. I don't think the set sold very well. 65 on 4K is $14.99. We got Scrooged on 4K for $13.99. We got A Bronx Tale on 4K for $27.99, which is definitely a deal because this came out at like $40 when it came out back in October. So $27.99 is definitely a deal for this movie. We have Blue Beetle on 4K for $19.99. Bullet Train on 4K for $14.99. The Color Purple on 4K for $27.99. I think that's the best price I've seen for that. And Smile, the 4K Steelbook, is on sale right now for $18.99. That's a really awesome Steelbook, but again, I don't love that movie. I've already got it in the scare set, so I do not need that Steelbook. But all right, guys, that's the deals. Let's go ahead and jump into what is new this week. There's not a ton coming out, definitely more than last week, but it's still a pretty light week. Luckily, Kino Lorber, some of the boutique labels are coming through for us this week, but we do have Varsity Blues coming out on 4K this week from Paramount for $20.98. I did a review of this on the channel yesterday. Go check it out. I will link it up there to let you guys know if this is worth picking up or not. But yeah, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite teen movies of the 90s, probably my favorite comedy, teen comedy of the 90s for sure. I absolutely love this movie, adore this movie, so definitely go check out my review. We also got Blood Simple coming out on 4K from Criterion for $34.99. I love this movie too. This might be my favorite Coen Brothers film. I love the film. I'm going to wait till they do the sale, though, for this one. There's really no reason for me to grab this right away, especially since I just grabbed the Criterion on Blu-ray because I really didn't think they were going to do this. But Blood Simple, it's a great film. I'm sure it's going to look great on 4K. That comes out this week, $34.99. We got the Old Boy 4K set coming out this week. This was delayed. I think this was supposed to come out in November or December, but the Old Boy 4K set's coming out from Decal, releasing for $75.99, which is a hefty price point. I wish they would do a regular standalone 4K set for this one, or edition for this, so I don't have to pay $75.99 to get Old Boy on 4K, but hopefully they do that at some point. I'll hold out for that, but if you're an Old Boy fan, like, this set's really nice looking, so it's probably a no-brainer to pick it up. Telefon is coming out from Shout Studios for $34.99. We also have Eddie Murphy's Raw coming out, a stand-up set coming out from Paramount for $22.49 on Blu-ray. We have St. Ives coming out from Shout Studios for $34.98. We have Suitable Flesh coming out from RLJE for $14.98. I did pre-order this. I am excited to watch it. I've heard some good things about this movie. We have 3 new titles coming out from Massacre Video. We have Blood Rain on 4K coming out for $39.99. $39.99. We have 555 coming out for $26.19, and we have Dard Divorce coming out for $26.19 as well. We have seven new Kino Lorber releases coming out this week, guys. Kino Lorber is keeping physical media alive so far in 2024. We have The Outside Man for $21.98. We have The Dark Side of Cinema Volume 16 coming out for $31.99, which includes 3 film noirs. We also have Odds Against Tomorrow coming out for $19.72. Split Image coming out for $19.98. We have The Hell with Heroes coming out for $19.98. We have Has Anybody Seen My Gal? Coming out for $19.98. We have The Road to Hong Kong also coming out for $19.98. So 7 titles from Kino. Kino is absolutely killing it this week. We have The Inferno coming out from Mondo Macabro for $22.48. We have Curse of the Dog God coming out from Mondo Macabro as well for $22.48. We have They Turned Us Into Killers coming out from Gravitas Ventures for $19.99. We have The Mental State coming out from Gravitas Ventures for $23.99. We have The Peacemaker, which is the 1997 George Clooney, Nicole Kidman movie coming out on Blu-ray for $12.75. I think this is a reprint, a reissue of the past Blu-ray release. We also have Dante's Inferno coming out, the 1911 film coming out on Blu-ray from TerrorVision. Not available on Amazon, but it is available to pre-order on their website. I did pre-order this myself, so hopefully I'll be getting it in this week at some point. But that is the announcements for this week, guys. That is the Physical Media Report, episode 194. I hope you feel more informed in the world of physical media. If you can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below, guys, of everything that we discussed. What are you the most excited about? Let me know in that comment section below. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.